What's going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and I wanted to do a quick video. Been getting a lot of requests to do a video on how to set up the bridge on the Eart headless properly. A lot of mixed reviews about this bridge, but I want to show you that if you set it up the right way, you won't have any issues. There's no reason to be intimidated. Yeah, there is a few different adjustments, but I'm going to show you what everything does and how to go about it. That way you can set it up properly and, yeah, not have tuning stability issues that everyone claims to have with theirs. Definitely don't have any of those problems with mine, and I believe it's because of the way that I go about setting it up. So we are in the other shop today. We're actually in the spray booth, so we have really good lighting. And this is where all the projects are going to be from now on. I have this shop here to basically do whatever I need to do. Real quick, there is the Schecter. That is one of the two guitars I want to do the vote on for the next project. So it's between a old Schecter Hellraiser and a LTD Alexi 200 Flying V. So let me know in the comments which guitar you'd rather see for the next project. It seems to be about a tie right now. I'm pointing towards the Schecter because I really like that thing, and some people are pointing towards the Flying V. So let me know in the comments which one you'd rather see. But real quick, let's get to it. All right, so we got the guitar laid out. I actually have to throw a new string on because the other one had like a weird kink in it. I don't know how it happened. I think when I was taking it out of the package, how they have it coiled, I kind of pulled it a little too tight and give us a nice kink. So I was getting some fret buzz in a certain spot, and it was due to the little kink. So we're going to throw a new string on, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity to go over all the adjustments and how I go about stringing this style bridge up, and I figured it can help you guys out along the way, because there has definitely been a few people asking me how to make a video on setting up this style bridge. So first of all, I'd like to go over all the different adjustments on the bridge and show you it really isn't as intimidating as it seems when you look at it. It can be a little bit confusing, but I'm going to break it down for you so you guys can do this with ease and have great tuning stability that I have. So first of all, obviously you have your tuners here, and turning this is going to turn the little brass wheel that your string wraps around, and that's pretty straightforward. And then you have your saddles here, and you have three different adjustments on the saddles. First one is going to be this Allen key here, which is going to be for your intonation. You're going to crack that loose, and you can slide the whole saddle forward or back. That's going to be for adjusting your intonation. And then you have two Allen keys on the back of the saddle here. The left one is going to be a locker, and that's going to lock the little brass wheel that's inside the saddle that raises and lowers your string height. That's going to lock that in whatever desired position you want it in. And then the one on the right is going to be the actual Allen key that pushes against the wheel and raises and lowers it. So that's going to be how to adjust your string height. So I came up with a couple little tricks that can, just make it easier. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this string on and show you along the way the easiest way to do it. Now, I have seen a couple videos of people that have their strings wrapped to the top of the wheel. As you can see, mine are to the bottom of the wheel, and that's just going to give you a better break angle. Usually you have a better break angle, you're going to have better tuning stability, better string tension, and it's honestly just going to help you out along the way. Most guitars that have a better break angle just usually have better tuning stabilities when you have that style bridge where the string goes past the saddle to like a secondary bridge or whatnot. I know there's a special name for it, but it's just not coming to mind right now. But usually the better break angle you have after your saddle, you're just going to have better string tension, better tuning stability, and it's just going to help you out in the long end. So always better to wrap your string so it's feeding at the bottom of the wheel, not at the top. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So real quick, the way I like to start this is you're going to turn the wheel and you're going to see your hole. The hole in the brass wheel goes through and through. So it's going to go through the center of the wheel, out the other side. And I pretty much just line it up so it's going to be even with the direction the string is coming from. And another thing I like to do is take my little brass piece that the string rests on and put that all the way down. Now you'll notice sometimes if you crack your locker loose, crack that loose here, you'll notice that when you go to turn your adjustment for your string height, nothing's happening. And it's perfectly normal. If you have no pressure on the string, it's usually, or on the saddle, it's not going to move. If you have a string on, I suggest loosening the string and then cracking the locker loose, and then you can adjust this so it lowers. Usually the weight of the loose string is enough to push it down, but if it's not, just gently take something. I have my string height measurer here, and you can manually push it down. I like to start with it all the way down. It's just easier. Usually you're just going to go nowhere but up anyway, so start with it all the way down. You don't need to unscrew the screw all the way so it falls out. So, you know, down pretty much far enough. Use your judgment so it doesn't fall out. But I like to start with it all the way down. It's just easier in my opinion. And yeah, let's go ahead and throw this string on there now. All right, so we got the string ball up on the other end, sitting in the headpiece correctly. At this angle, it's going to look like my string's really short, but it's basically to the end of the body. So you go a little bit past the bridge, right to where the wood for the body stops. It's usually where I cut it to. As long as you're getting 2.5 to 3 wraps on the wheel, nice tight wraps. That's the key, nice tight wraps. You'll be fine. So you can see the string's a little bent up. I've had it on once before. I don't have brand new strings right now, so we're going to go ahead and just throw this one on. I straightened it out, and it'll work perfectly. So like I said, I adjusted the brass wheels so the hole going through the center is lined up from the direction we need to come in. And obviously you're going to try to keep tension on it so it doesn't fall out of the headpiece. And you're going to stick the string in the hole. Now you'll realize it's going to want to come out the back. You can see in the video it's poking out the back there. You can poke it out a little bit. You don't want to stick it out a lot though. But I tend to stick it out a little bit because when you go to start winding it with your winder that is magnetically stuck to the side of the bridge, make sure you don't lose it. When you go to wind it, it's going to try to pull the string through and pop out. So stick it through a little bit, and then you're going to start winding, I believe, clockwise. And once you start to wind it, it starts bending the string. It's going to, you know, stay in place pretty well. I'm going to just pop it out a little bit. So the string is sticking out the back of the wheel a little bit, but not much. And then we're going to start winding. Now, once you have a good half a wind on it, maybe 3/4 of a wind, then the most important thing now is to keep tension on the string. So I'm pulling back towards the head of the guitar. I'm not going to say headstock because there isn't one, but I'm pulling the opposite direction. So I'm keeping nice tension on the string, and that when you're feeding a tension string into the wheel, that's going to be your key to getting nice tight wraps. So I'm going to wrap it here, wrap it here. I love this little winder. It's so little. So we have nice tension. So we got about 2 wraps on the wheel, 2.5 wraps, which is plenty. You don't need 10 wraps or anything. You know, it doesn't need to be crazy. 2.5 to 3 wraps, you're going to be perfectly fine. You're not going to have any tuning stability issues. Usually the more wraps you have, that's when you run into the tuning stability issues, because the string is just going to constantly want to pull tight and slip all the time. So the less wraps you have to pull tight, it's not going to move. So 2.5, 3 wraps, you could do 4 wraps, that'll be fine. I wouldn't really go more than that. People might say 2 wraps, that's it. Well, guess what? I've literally never had any problems with that many wraps, and my thing is perfectly tuned and stays nice and stable. So 2 wraps, 2.5, I would say 2.5 to 4 wraps is going to be, you don't want to go any more than that. So remember, our string is pretty much lowered all the way, and we can get into the whole action battle, but I'm going to leave that up to you. You guys can pick your desired action. I suggest going and getting one of these. It'll really help you out, and set your action to where you want it. We're not going to get into the whole where you should set your action, because it's going to be preference, and I'll let you guys be the judge of that, because that is like the long lasting argument of this whole thing is, oh, what string height should I run? That's going to be up to you. So I'm going to put it where I like it on my guitars, measure at the 12th fret, and then when you're ready, you're going to go to your right screw here. And what I'm going to do before I do that is make sure it's unlocked, obviously. We're going to take a little bit of tension off of the string, just so it's not tightening up too much as we're raising it, because obviously as you raise the string, it's going to put more tension on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gauge up there, and make sure we're unlocked, which we are. And we're going to go ahead and turn in the adjustment screw, and you will see that copper wheel raising up. And that's basically where I like it, right there. So when you get to your desired height, then you can go ahead and lock your wheel down. You don't need to go crazy, just nice snug. Boom. And then once you're at your desired height, then you can go ahead and tune up your guitar, and you should have no tuning stability issues as long as you strung it properly and you take the steps that I just showed you. I literally have no tuning stabilities with this guitar. I set up my friend's Eart, and he has no tuning stability issues with his. So I really believe all the mixed reviews that people are giving on this style bridge is all because you're not setting it up properly. Take these steps. I really hope this helped, guys. I want you to be able to have confidence in this bridge and not, hate it. So take those steps. You should have no problem. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll gladly answer you. And like I said, don't forget to vote to see which guitar you want to see for the next project. And if this type of stuff suits you, reviews, gear reviews, guitar projects, little tips and tricks here and there, if that types of stuff suits you, then subscribe. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps, and we'll see you later.